Hello everyone!
We're the Mean Girls, and today we're going to teach you about
SohCahToa!
SohCahToa is an acronym that will help you remember the trigonomic ratios. Let's imagine a right triangle, and on the triangle there is an angle, A.
The longest side is called the hypotenuse. The side across from this angle we're going to call the opposite side. And the side next to the angle that makes up half of it we're going to call the adjacent side.
The abbreviations for each side are HYP, OPP, and ADJ. Here's a look at the three trigonomic ratios: sine, cosine, and tangent.
The ratio of sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So helps us remember this, as S represents sine, O opposite, and H hypotenuse.
The ratio cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Ca helps us remember this since C represents cosine, A adjacent, and H hypotenuse.
The ratio tangent is equal to opposite over adjacent. TOA helps us remember this ratio because T represents tangent, O represents opposite, and A represents adjacent.
By remembering SohCahToa, you will never forget the trigonometric ratios when you need them the most.
Now we are going to do some practice problems. Remember that none of the triangles in the practice problems we show you are to scale.
First, we're going to practice making our ratios. Follow along at home. We have our triangle here with sides 3, 4, and 5. Which sides are hypotenuse, adjacent, and opposite to angle A?
Now, let's check your answers.
Now we are going to make the ratio for sine. Sine equals opposite over a hypotenuse, so the ratio would be 3/5 because the side with the length of 3 is the opposite side to angle A, and the side with the length of 5 is the hypotenuse.
For cosine, it equals adjacent over hypotenuse. The ratio would be 4/5.
For tangent, it equals opposite over adjacent. The ratio would then be 3/4.
Now we are going to show you how to apply this information. In this right triangle, what is given to us? Well, we have the hypotenuse side, which is 16, and an angle of 30 degrees. The length side is opposite to the angle, and the side labeled M is the adjacent side.
To set up the equation, we have the cosine of 30 degrees, as we can determine we need to use cosine because we want to find m, which is adjacent, and we have 16 as the hypotenuse. Therefore, we need to use the hypotenuse and adjacent sides, and the trigonometric ratio that uses both is cosine. Cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, so we plug in those numbers and variables, which equals m over 16.
To solve, we multiply 16 by both sides to cancel out the fraction and to isolate m. Now we have cosine of 30 degrees times 16 is equal to m. Take out your calculators. On them, we put in cosine, then 30, where you should get about 0.866. Now multiply that by 16, and your answer for side m is 13.856 units.
Pause the video and try this one yourself. First, you will need to write out the equation. Since you have the hypotenuse and you want to find the opposite side, you need to use sine. So sine of 45 degrees equals opposite over hypotenuse, which is x divided by 10.
Now use your calculator to find sine of 45 degrees, and you should round to 0.707. Multiply both times 10 to isolate x. Your answer should be 7.07 units.
Let's try one last question. Pause the video and try to solve it yourself before continuing to hear the answer. Your equation should use tangent because you are solving for the adjacent side, and the side given is the opposite side, which are both used in tangent. This is equal to opposite over adjacent, or here, 15 over x. The equation should be tangent of 20 equal to 15 divided by x.
First, you need to multiply both sides times 20. Take out your calculators again and solve for tangent of 20 to get 0.364. Then multiply this times 20 to get 7.279 units.
That's all for today's video.
Thank you for watching!
Please subscribe to our channel and like this video if this video helped you ace that math test.
We hope that this video was very helpful and you understand SohCahToa better.